You ready?
Yep.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Honest to Pod with me, Ashley McAllister.
And me, Matthew Ali.
And boom, bada bum, bada bum. Episode 35.
Yes.
35.
That's going to be the age that I find the man of my dreams.
Oh, why wait?
Why wait?
Yeah, why wait?
I'm not waiting. It's just when I'll be ready.
Oh.
I'll not find the man. Maybe not find the man. I'll be with a man. Then I think that's the age I'm going to settle.
Right.
So didn't you and I have an agreement? Nah, joking, we didn't. I had an agreement with a couple of people, but I can't remember who they are.
I don't think it was me.
Did you ever make those things up?
No. No, I always
Never?
I always thought I've met somebody and been married by now, but hey, fuck that.
Oh, shit. Well, I was having this conversation recently, especially because like straight people and gay people are different. And like, a lot of people are getting married and like having their kids and stuff. And I'm not even close to that. Like, I don't even have savings.
We've talked about that one here, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. I guess it's coming up a lot now because a lot of people are going to weddings as it gets to the summertime and stuff, which is mad cray. It's ridiculous.
Mm. Yeah. No, I thought I'd be married and probably a couple of kids adopted by now.
At 32?
33. Yeah.
No, I never thought that anyway. Like, yeah, I remember even when I was younger, I didn't have it in my mind. I know times have changed now since like the past 20 years, or whatever, but I didn't have it in my mind that I would have a family and stuff by this age. I thought 35 upwards was the age that I wanted to start having like children and things like that. When I thought I wanted children, but now I'm not so sure.
Well, could you imagine if I had like never broken up with my first partner who was with for 5 years? That would be 5 years ago, coming 6 years ago. Like we would definitely, yeah, that'll be 6 years in July. The 13th.
Like, how many you're counting the days, boy? I hope you're watching this. 6 years, 34 hours, 3 minutes, and 16 seconds.
At 10:05.
But no, I'm over it. I promise you. I'm over
it. Definitely not over it. Too soon. It's too soon to make these sort of jokes.
It's too soon.
It's only been 6 years. Yeah, man, it's crazy. 6 years, not mad.
Fuck, that's crazy. That is 6 years, man. You were so young.
And I was 28.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess so. By like, if you're with someone for 11 years, then I guess you'd kind of hope that. Are you set on like being married and stuff?
Am I set on it?
Yeah, like, do you want to be married?
I don't like. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a yearning to get married, but if I meet the right person, then I'll get married.
Fair enough.
I won't just marry somebody for the sake of getting married.
No, I just mean like for me, like if my partner was like, well, for me personally, marriage doesn't bother me. The only reason I'll get married is if the other person felt so strongly. That's the only reason. But I'm actually against it, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think if somebody is able to tolerate me for the rest of their lives, then I'd definitely say, yeah, let's get married.
No, I want to be with someone for the rest of my life, and I want to build a family. Potentially, I'm still up and down with children at this point in time, but actually have like, things together and spend our lives and be like life partners. It's actually just the act of marriage that I'm a bit like, well, I find it to be one of the most selfish, most self-aggrandizing things in the world. And I find it, especially with like old traditional church weddings where like the woman gets all like dressed up and they spend 30 grand on it. Like one of the most ridiculous things ever. Like,
yeah,
it's the most, I can't think of the word. It's not selfish. It's the most self-absorbed thing you can possibly do. To spend so much money on one day and on like one outfit and all this stuff. I think it's just awful. What I'd rather do is, if I was going to get married, have a small ceremony, have a big party where no one would have to pay for drinks, and then use the money that I would have spent on a 30, 40 grand wedding, going away and traveling for 6 months with each other. That way we can show people and celebrate our love by spending that time with each other. On us, not everyone else.
Totally agree. The only thing I would spend money on would be the rings, because that's what you keep.
I like jewelry and I like shiny things. So I agree.
Yeah.
And yeah, you get to keep them. It's not like on these fucking flowers and shit. Like, no.
Well, there we go. 35. Tell us about your week.
Week was pretty good. I think. What was last week? Last week was long. Remember, actually, you posted on Instagram being that was long, and I was like, "Fuck me." Last week was long. I don't know why.
It was a long week.
Yeah, for the past 2 weeks, I guess because we haven't really spoken in 2 weeks. Actually, I've been quite busy. I've had been trying to keep an active social life and have like dinner and stuff and things like that and meeting people, and then like rugby and all that sort of stuff. So it's been quite busy in that respect. So we just had the bank holiday weekend, and that was pretty restful. I didn't really get drunk. Yeah, it's pretty nice overall. But no events, nothing noteworthy. I would say, just dates and stuff. Yeah. How about you?
The same, really. Like the last week was so long. I think it really pissed me off is for the last 2-3 weeks we've had really horrible rain, but it seems to be really, really nice when I'm in the office. And as soon as I step outside, it pours down with rain. So both weekends has just been wet and miserable. And again today we're back at work and the sun's out, and I'm just and you can't even moan to anyone, so you just get angry. And I'm so angry that I'm just so mad.
You're so angry.
I get angry.
You can't control it. You can't get angry.
I know, but I do. I can't stand that I don't get to enjoy the sunshine.
Oh, that's a shame. It was really nice here. It was really sunny on Saturday and Sunday.
Great.
Yeah. I mean, just so you know, the weather was really good here.
Oh my god! I'm going to beat somebody up now. I'm going to go out and just find a 4-year-old to punch.
No, yeah, it's pretty good. Do you know what I did do that? I had oh, sorry, go on.
No, go.
I don't know why. I think I didn't have any plans. So I'd booked basically a series of dates. So 4 dates last week. Isn't that fucked?
With different people.
I was supposed to see one of them twice. Ended up cancelling on the Sunday because I actually wasn't into him really. We went out and he was really nice actually. I really liked his conversation. And the thing is I wouldn't. People do say oh, I like him as friends, and I would I think we'd get on well as friends. But I also don't like to say that because I just don't think I will be friends with.
No.
You know, it's just all a bit of a faff.
I remember somebody was say, oh, something about friends, and I was like, I'm not looking for friends. I'm looking to dip it and do it. I don't want fucking friends.
No, I don't either.
I don't see the friends I have enough anyway.
That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. I've made so many friends over the past 15 years of my life. I'd like to try and put more time into that. Then I have no needs to make new friends. You know, I haven't even got that many friends. The close I do stuff with them the daily. But I was I don't want to make new friends. I'm good. I'm okay. Except for our lovely followers on Honest to Pod. Yeah, but I'd sort of.
They're not really friends though. They're family members.
Yeah, exactly. That's fair. They are family. You are family. Well done. A good catch, Ashley. Yeah. I'd organise another sort of to meet up with someone else on a Sunday immediately after cancelling on the other person there. So that was a bit gross. But apart from that, no, it was good. It was good.
Well, I started a new book, which I'm loving.
What book?
It's American Gods.
That's a TV series.
Well, it was a book before the TV series, but I've not seen the TV series. But I started reading the book.
That's good because I prefer to read the book before I watch something.
Have you watched the TV show?
No. I haven't watched anything on Amazon Prime.
No.
Is it good though?
The book's really good. I think you'd really like it.
Okay, I got some books from work that I need to read. That only gave me the book saying read them. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm reading those at the moment. But once I've done that, I need to get back into reading again properly.
Yep. Well, this is Neil Gaiman, American Gods. It's really, really good. I can't put it down really. I did it all day yesterday and I fell asleep and woke up just before I had to go to the gym. I was late for the gym and I was really tired. But the other big thing which I started this week was Chernobyl. Have you been watching Chernobyl?
No.
Oh my days.
It's good.
Superb.
What is it like?
It's
And I don't know. What is it? Is it based on true events?
yeah, so you know the Chernobyl disaster.
I don't know it. No.
You've never heard of Chernobyl.
That I have heard of Chernobyl. I don't know what happened.
So Chernobyl was one of the, if not the first or maybe the second big nuclear disaster. So it's like a man-made disaster.
Okay.
And it happened in the 80s. I want to say 86. I think it happened 85, 86. Basically, what I know of it before the TV show, so I won't give away anything from the TV show, was one of the nuclear reactors exploded and it wiped out, it basically sent radiation far and wide in a massive radius, and they have to evacuate all the nearby cities and stuff, and kill dogs and turn the soil over so the radiation would stop leaking out. But it was just like horrific, and the series is so good. It's HBO, so they put a lot of money into it. It's just so good. It's so detailed, and it's so wow. Like the stuff I didn't even know.
How many
It's just
episodes are
insane.
there? And how long is each episode?
They're an hour each. There's only going to be 5
Okay.
episodes, and there's I think the 4th one came out last night or
I
tonight.
think I can watch that.
It is honestly, you will get hooked.
I might see if I can watch it with my housemates because we tend to watch deeper things when we're together, and I do better when I'm not good watching those things by myself because I need help understanding what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the thing that threw me, and it's obviously it's set in where's it set? Chernobyl, which I don't know. I think is it Czech? It's not Czech Republic. I have Czech Republic in my head because one of my employees is from Czech. But it is Chernobyl. Is Chernobyl? Where is Chernobyl?
Anyway, it's set there.
It is Ukraine. It's in the Ukraine. So obviously it's set in the Ukraine. It's English. It's quite a good cast actually. English actors, and they speak English, but the names are Ukrainian. So I find it hard to sometimes follow who's who. But also, it is dealing with like sort of physics, and sometimes they're like talking about nuclear this and protons here, and I'm like, oh man, just give me a zombie or something. But it is good. It is good.
Have you seen Dead to Me?
No.
That is good. It's on Netflix, and
Oh.
it's more my style. It's a little more simple, a little bit dramatic. Only half an hour episodes, and there's like 10 episodes, and it's really good.
Oh.
You should watch it.
Okay, Dead to Me.
Yeah, it'll be easy.
And then one last thing I just want to give a big shout out to is the Union Cup is next weekend. So not this weekend, coming the weekend after.
Yeah, the 8th.
Do you want to give me talk about the Union Cup?
The Union Cup is in Dublin, on the 8th and 9th of June, and it's the European Gay Rugby Tournament. Although this year it seems to have more players and more teams than any tournament that's happened so far. Both Union Cup and Bingham, which is the World's Gay Rugby Tournament. The Emerald Warriors are hosting it. So I was talking to the chairman of the club, and he was just like, it's so busy at the moment. He's like, oh, I can't wait for it to end. Which is
Who's the chairman?
oh my god, Damien Kavanagh.
Okay.
Do you know what? I don't know why I say this all the time. I always think his last name is Mackenzie. Is someone famous called Damien Mackenzie?
Maybe.
Is that a person? But no, Damon Kavanagh is his name. And yeah, it's just that I can imagine it's tons of work. I mean, I think there's like 79 teams or 80 odd teams or something stupid, 5,000 gay men in one place. So
Damon McKenzie is a rugby player for the All Blacks.
Oh, of course he is, the fullback. Yeah, he's amazing, that guy.
Yeah. Is that who you're talking to?
Imagine. Imagine. No, he's quality. He's really good. But anyway, yeah. So we'll be doing that in 2 weeks' time. We're playing rugby and getting drunk and enjoying it, and hopefully. So mentioned to one of our followers that I'll be in Dublin from Thursday to Monday, which would be good. And you might come down, but you haven't decided yet, which is a shame. Um, how far away is Dublin for you?
It's not. It's not that far. I'd get the bus down. It's about 3 or 4 hours in the bus. Only because the trains are just harder to work the way around, and it's just one straight road. I would not drive because I don't fancy my chances, and it's not. It's not that. It's just. It's now I have to sort accommodation, and I have to like register, and it's not a no. It's a maybe yes. Like
Oh,
it's
I'm
like
not asking you
you
to.
know.
You don't need to explain your stories to me. I don't care.
Oh no, you don't like this. You know you care.
I know.
But I am excited because I think it's like we've got friends flying over from the States who are going to be there. We've got people who have lived in the States and moved back who I really want to see.
Yeah,
It, like I'm pretty sure I'll be there. If I am there, we can even record a quick clip face to face.
I think so. Yeah, I do think so, and I should have some time.
When do you come back again?
Thursday midday, and then what time do I leave on the Monday?
Oh, do you leave Monday? Yeah. What time?
Oh,
Early
it's
is it?
quite late, but I'll be drunk during the Monday. But it's like 8.
Is Monday Kangaroo Court and all?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so
Okay, so I'll
I'll
have
be
to
drunk.
travel up Tuesday then.
I'll be drunk on Tuesday.
Well, yeah, I don't have to fly. I have to get a 4 hour bus back up, don't I? So
Oh yeah. No, I decided to go in the evening and not use an extra day's leave. So anyway, yeah. So that's gonna be. It should be good fun. It's gonna be. The tournament's always really enjoyable. They're some of the highlights of my year, to be honest. I always plan on going. So yeah, it'd be lovely. And if you're going to be in Dublin, then you can come and watch and be a supporter and watch the games. And
mm.
you know, I think we've got
Yeah, I was asked to play, but I couldn't really bother to play. If I'm honest.
no one asked you. Anyway, yeah.
I was asked to play. Thank you.
Why don't we get in some topics?
Shall I go first?
Yep, because I'm saying nothing.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to see if you had heard about the protests in Birmingham at Anderson Park Primary School, where there's been 78 weeks of peaceful protests. I have peaceful in, I'm doing my little inverted commas with my hands. Peaceful protests because the parents, the Muslim parents of the school, do not want their children to learn about same-sex relationships. At Anderson Park Primary School have started brainwashing the kids to only learn about same-sex relationships.
Only learn.
No. So basically what's happened is as kids have books to read and they get told stories in school, they've replaced some of the books with stories that have same-sex parents, or there's one about a little boy who wants to be a princess, and there's these different books. So they're not only replacing them with, they're just added more into it to make it the library more diverse. But it's caused a bit of a hoo-ha because it started, I think one of the parents had seen that it was the one where the prince wanted to be a little princess and started wearing dresses, and this caused this mum of a couple of kids to go there to be all, this is not right. And then she told her brother, and her brother doesn't have any kids that go to the school in question, and he's now lead protester, or the one who organises it all. So essentially these protests have been on for 7 or 8 weeks now. Last week they closed the school because there was a larger protest organised. But it's just, well, what do you think of it so far? What do you think of what I've said so far? Did you hear about this before?
I didn't hear about it before, and then you mentioned it, and then I understood that this was going on. Well, obviously, I think that it is narrow-minded a little bit, because I think that they're saying they shouldn't be able to understand these complex situations. But I don't believe that I don't understand how it's more complex than a book saying that a man and a woman must, happily married ever after, but it can't be the same if you just change one of their genders. Like, it's I think a lot of people worry about the fact that we're sexualizing, but it's not about sex. It's not about sex at all. It's about
No.
love and relationships, and yeah, I think it's definitely very narrow minded.
Yeah, I think there's a misconception that they're teaching kids about sex when they're not teaching kids about sex. They're literally saying it's okay if parents have or kids have two dads or two moms, or and it's done in such a subtle way. It's the same old problem where we've come up loads and loads of times before: religion versus LGBT.
Mm.
It's there's like the thing is there has to be a way around. I think equality is for everyone. You can't just pick and choose what equality is, and I think that's what I can't remember her name now, but Jess, she's an MP Jess somebody, Jess Phillips maybe her name is. That's what she said. Like she was at she's from Birmingham. She went to the day and she said that what the guys are doing is a disservice to the community, these Muslim protesters, because she's there to help Muslims as well as their MP, and she also wants to help LGBT, but having protests and taking kids out of school is not the way to do it.
Not at all.
It just seems sad because, and what's interesting is I think the education system is going to change next year, in that these type of same-sex studies and LGBT studies are going to become compulsory for schools.
Oh, really?
I think that's what I read.
I didn't read anything about it, so that'd be really interesting.
I think, yeah, from next year on, they won't have a choice, and if they start taking their kids out of school, then they could be fined.
The thing that stands out to me most is, and the reason I was talking about it with someone on yesterday, and it's just the moment you think or believe, especially myself being in London and being in the situation where I'd say I'm relatively comfortable. When you think you're getting somewhere, things like this just really just bring you back to ground and being like, honestly, there's so much work to be done, and the progress isn't as extreme. And when people say like, and we speak about this about any issue that comes up, when people say like, oh, why is it like thrown in my face and stuff? It's because of things like this. Like it's not, for us, it's normal that we would talk about same-sex relationships. Now, that's not necessarily the same for others, but being in, mixed sex relationships, or what would you call it, heterosexual relationships, isn't the only way.
No,
it's clearly it's not like anymore.
It just baffles me. Like you say, it's not the only way anymore. But what I think some, not all, but some straight people get blindsided by is how, if they can imagine that every single ad they seen or every single relationship portrayed on TV was a same-sex relationship, then I'd say they have reason for protests. Do you know what I mean? Like saying that's too much.
Mm.
But what they probably don't see is for years and years and years, that is what people who were gay had to look at every single day. If they could just imagine for 1 minute what it'd be like looking like that every single character in Friends was gay. Bizarre. Everyone in Emmerdale was gay.
Yeah.
Everyone in Chernobyl was gay. It just like they wouldn't accept it.
No, I agree, and I just think that yeah, I think it's ridiculous that you're taking your children out of school and punishing, or at least stopping their education based on. Because it'd be different if they said that in a heavily Muslim area that they weren't allowed to read books or study anything to do with their religion. If they suddenly said that actually no more studies about Muslim studies or anyone with a headscarf on or anything like that in the books.
Yeah.
All of the books would just be white people. It'd be the same thing.
It totally is.
And I don't think it's fair.
Do you see? I had 2 points in my head, and they both crashed into each other. I was going to say, first of all, that, well, I think you made the point anyway, that if it was the other way around, like in order to be equality, I also think kids should be taught about different religions, like not just Christianity, but like Judaism and Islam. To me, what the purpose of school is to prepare kids for adulthood and the society they're going to live in. And today's Britain is all mixes of races and genders and religions, and for one of those minorities to say, well, actually, I'm okay with me being represented, but I don't want other people to be represented. It's the very essence of inequality, really.
No, absolutely. Especially when you want to be accepted, if you are part of an ethnic or marginalized group in some way. Although obviously, like I mean, I keep saying obviously, I hate that word. But the area that school is in is heavily Muslim anyway, so there may not be a minority within that group. So it's easier when you're within your own environment to be like, actually, I don't want to accept anything else. But it'd be different if you were in I don't know, anywhere that wasn't heavily populated with Muslims, but actually was Hindus or any other religion.
Yeah.
No, it's fucked up. It is a bit fucked up. And
It-
if it's true, which I don't know because I haven't read that it will be compulsory, I think that's amazing.
Now, I don't know to what extent it is compulsory because, for example, I don't think religious studies is compulsory anymore. So I don't know. The thing to me, which gets me, and I might get some backlash for saying it, but to me, religion is a choice. Being religious is a choice, and I think when I was doing some research for this, a lot of people still believe, a lot of heavily religious people still believe that being gay is a choice. Apparently, we choose this gay lifestyle, and it's our choice to do this, and we should suffer the consequences for our choice.
And that's why I guess they don't want you in school because they feel like somehow a book might romanticize the idea that you can be in a same sex relationship. And so you'll choose it. But I think for those that were already inclined will then see that it's okay. But for those that aren't, will see that it's okay. And that actually it opens up your minds to allow others to be who they want to be. I think that's the most important thing. It's like an immersion thing. Like if you don't see anything to do with same sex relationships, then it will seem abstract and not normal. And if you see it, you might be afraid of it, like a lot of people are, and then choose to say that it shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
But obviously, they don't want it to exist because it doesn't match what their ideas are of, I don't know, lives and stuff. But it's not okay, obviously, because. But I do agree. I wish that somehow like, and it's to me, it's the same as how like gay people should and homosexuals should support trans people, for example, especially because we may not be the same in that respect, but actually we need to support each other in these things. And it's the same for different races, I think.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about more about trans after. You still talking about the same thing that you said you would?
Yep.
Cool. But yeah, you're right. You're totally spot on. Yeah, I had a couple of other points, but yeah, some of the things like I think one of the things they're saying was they consider it brainwashing, that we're brainwashing kids to think that it's normal to be in a same-sex relationship. That's some of the quotes that from interviews I've seen of people at the protesters, which to me is just a shocking way to approach something.
Saying that we're brainwashing them.
Say that you're brainwashing kids to say that this is normal, and it's like, well, this is normal. This is a standard acceptance in Britain. I also do not believe that parents should be given the power to dictate what schools teach their kids. So some of the mums were like, I know my kid better than anyone else. I know what's right for them. I know what's wrong for them, and this and that. I'm like, I don't doubt that you do, but you have to send your kid to school. It's the law. Unless you're paying for a private school where you can take it up with your teachers because you're paying heavily tuition fees, you're sending them to a public school. Public schools are run by the government, and the government will have a curriculum that they have to adhere to for reasons because they want to bring kids up in a society that best represents Britain. I think there should be a heavier fine or penalty on these parents or any parents who protest a school.
You can't find people for protesting.
You can fine people for taking kids out of school, and you can fine people for intimidating other parents to take their kids out of school.
Can you?
You should be able to.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
Why?
They are well within their rights to, and I think the law says that they can choose certain things for their children if they're under a certain age, which is fine. And protest is protest. That's their right within the UK for as long as it's peaceful, you're not hurting anyone.
I think there should be no. I think the difference here is these people are protesting right outside the school. That's intimidating for people who are not protesting, have to go through these people roaring and whatever it is to get into the school. If they want to protest, there should be a zone that they have to stand behind.
Oh, maybe, but that's just protest in general, I guess. Unless there's some law that says you can't protest that way.
No,
But
and I'm all for a good protest. Don't forget the first Pride parade was a protest. I'm not against people protesting or saying,
and it's meant to be disruptive.
oh,
Well, if it's not disruptive, you might not get what you want. I'm not to say they should get what they want, but that's kind of the idea.
yeah, well, yeah, that's what I want to say about it.
I'm hoping, and we'll have a look afterwards, that it does become compulsory, because the more people understand about anything and the more information and knowledge they have, the more power they'll have to make decisions and actually be more tolerant, I think, overall.
Definitely.
Because if you're saying you're brainwashing people to say, well, I mean, that's the same again for religion. I mean, if you're in a religious household and you go to the church or you go to the mosque, and you're constantly saying that you need to then go to like your studies, I mean, essentially that's a form of brainwashing as well. The issue is religion is actually dangerous, actually harmful to others.
Yep.
Whereas at this point in time, we've not said that same-sex relationships have been harmful to anyone. What is harmful is those that want to be in relationships and express themselves, and those that fight against it from those religions, for example.
I wouldn't say all religion is dangerous.
Not all religion. I'm just saying religion itself can be dangerous. Where wars started.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you were talking about the Troubles.
No, yeah. I'm just saying there's religion out there that isn't dangerous as well. Like people who follow religion interpret it in their own way. Not everyone who is religious is.
Oh, I definitely didn't say that.
Dangerous. No, I just wanted to make sure it was super clear.
No, but unless, well, I don't know. I'm speculating for sure, but there's no like history of like a gaggle of gays there starting wars.
Oh, but they are sassy.
They are.
They give.
We express it in ways that, in the ballroom.
Oh my god, I love that TV show.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? See, that's how it's expressed, and there was no hitting involved. There was a lot of bitchiness and stuff, but there's no hitting, and no fighting. But they did actually have like hate for each other at certain points, but they expressed it through other means. So unless there's like a sudden war between gay men and lesbian women, which can definitely happen, I think we're okay.
I think we're fine. Cool. All right, let's move on.
All right. Well, I want to talk about Gillette's new advert.
The best a man can get.
Because previously we'd said in our podcast about an advert that was basically part of the Me Too movement, and it was talking about toxic masculinity and how it needs to be addressed and changed within men. And Gillette and razor blades are such a big thing for men, and being masculine, shaving and stuff is such an important part of adult men's lives. It's a rite of passage almost to a certain extent, that a lot of men felt the need to. There was both positive and negative critique and reviews back then, and I'll be interested to see what the results are from this one. So there's a new advert, and it's actually. Have you watched it?
Yes, I did.
I thought it was really beautiful, actually. And if I was more emotional at this point in time, it definitely would have made me well up. But it's got to do with, so there's a transgender female to male Toronto-based artist called Samson. I can't say his last name too much, but say Samson is fine. And it talks about his experience growing up trying to figure out what kind of man he is. And then it has his dad teaching him how to shave. And I guess I never even would have thought about that. I mean, I didn't have a dad or a man or a male figure showing me how to shave, because it was just my mum and stuff. But there was always on TV and stuff growing up, isn't it? Your dad shows you how to shave, or you get a male figure showing you. And it's just, I thought it was such a beautiful advert that Gillette had put out there, really. What did you think?
I thought it was beautiful as well. I only watched it today after you told me you wanted to talk about it. I seen it doing the rounds, and I sort of in my head was thinking, what's Gillette done now? But no, I watched it and I thought it was again, it never struck me as something to even think about. But what the ad does say to me is, yeah, shaving is a rite of passage, and there is something about those. They're in films, like you said, the dad teaches the kid how to shave with shaving foam and like a razor with no blade in it. I had that done.
You had a razor with no blades on to learn?
Yeah, my granddad, because my dad wasn't about. My granddad taught me how to shave,
Ah,
but he took the blade out of an old razor and put shaving foam on my face and let me shave off the thing.
that's cute.
I do think I want to do it again though with his razor, and I cut myself quite a lot. I think it was either me or my cousin. I can't remember. One of us did. I remember. I just remember. I don't remember actually doing it, but I remember the stories. I can't remember if it was me or my cousin, but basically went in and we grabbed the wrong razor and we cut hacked her face. Um, but yeah, no. So it was a very sweet moment. Um, I think it was. Like I said, I was so nervous after the last toxic masculinity ad because I think I understood what Gillette were trying to do, but they failed so badly with that toxic masculinity ad. I think it was so bad.
You think they failed?
I thought it was a terrible ad.
Did we have this conversation?
Yeah, we both agreed it was a terrible ad. We just kind of thought there was no need for them to do it.
Oh, did I come believe that? Maybe I need to watch it ad again. I think there were some elements that seemed to be a little bit outdated. Maybe they weren't. I don't know.
There were some bits in the ad were quite cute, but other bits were just like all these headlines about rape and this, and it was just
It was a bit extreme.
ugh. It was, yeah, exactly, and it was unneeded, in my opinion. I think that was what we said.
Well, this advert I find to be a lot softer and very
Yes.
human, and I'd be interested to see if and what kind of negative backlash, and not just from say like I can use a horrible term, but bigoted people, because just to see a transgender person on TV, I think, and then be against it would be an absolute travesty because that just shows on your ignorance. But
Well, there is some negative backlash. I was watching some. When people watch something and they tell you what they. I don't say it's a review because it's not a review, but reaction. I was watching people's reactions to it. Now they seem to, and I watched two. They seem to come at it. They say, they first of all say, "Oh, we're not transphobic," but then they say we're only looking at this from a marketing point of view, from a business saying, Gillette markets razors to men, but trans people make up 0.6% of the population. So why is Gillette marketing towards such a minority group when they should be marketing towards one that will make them the most money? So that's seems to be the very common stance from people who don't like the ad. But of course, they do clarify that they're not transphobic.
they just
Now, they're concerned about Gillette's revenue. But what also was a very common thing that they said is, and again, it's not because they have said they're not transphobic, but they will not buy Gillette anymore because they think they've lost the mark with this ad. So they're no longer getting the money from them.
I mean,
but they're not transphobic.
after that last advert, and then this, I think they lost a lot of people. A lot of people said they wouldn't because it was an attack on men and masculinity. I think it's just crazy. Like this advert is inoffensive. It has to be. It has to be. It's such a beautiful story.
Yep.
One thing that really is important for me as well is the fact that the dad helping. Well, that their dad is helping first of all, because how understanding and amazing parent must you be to not only support your child but promote them and be in a video with them, but also that they are that they're black. I actually found that quite important personally because I think there is I don't want to say a stigma because it's true, but within sort of black and African communities and Caribbean and things like that, I feel like it's less likely to be accepted within those communities, although it is not accepted widely anyway. And I thought it was just really lovely that also the dad is black. Do you think that's important?
To me, it's not important because I'm not black. But when I did watch it, I thought it was nice that they were black because having known you and you see it on TV. people who are black are represented differently than people who are white.
Mm.
And it's nice to have the focus on a black family of with a trans kid and his dad enjoying this really special moment. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it
Yeah,
was a really nice ad.
and I just wanted to mention that really because after
I'm just shocked that people like what I know they're not transphobic, but to sit and say because of this ad, which featured a trans kid, and they're no longer going to buy the product anymore. So essentially, they're no longer going to shave because Gillette decided to showcase a story that wasn't a straight male.
despite Gillette's first ad, I'm happy that they stuck to their guns. Maybe the first ad wasn't executed perfectly. This ad, in my opinion, has the right taste. It tells a story. It doubles down on what they'd said previously and shows to me
Mm-hmm.
that they're truly committed despite the criticism from the first time round, and show that it's incredibly important. And I think that's what is important for me. So someone like me would be the opposite. I most certainly will use Gillette because consumers nowadays, a lot of people want to have a story. Not everyone does, and maybe these people think that it's not important to have a story, but actually just to stick to, you know, what men want or what women want and their ideas of it. But I think a lot of consumers out there want stories. They want to know that the companies that they're purchasing from have integrity in some way.
Yeah.
And I think that Gillette, for being such a masculine, and I have no problem with masculinity in general. It's important to. I think what's great is actually saying that this transgender person is trying to discover the kind of man they want to be, whether it's masculine or not. They're sticking to their guns, and they've executed excellently well a beautiful advert that really stands up to people's perception of transgender people.
And it's a nice representation of society today.
I wish it was more accurate in that it was, because it
'Cause
almost
look,
seems like an ideal, although this is happening, and we need more examples of it. But I just think, yeah, I thought it was beautiful.
what do you mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know many trans people, and I say many, I don't know any. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but when you think about, like, I don't know, like statistics of suicide and mental health issues within the trans community, especially because I think as a gay man, and gay men in particular, say, like, talk about pride, and a lot of the rights that we have is actually down to the transgender community and not the gay community completely. I think that there's still a lot of issues within
Mm-hmm.
being accepted. So in this instance, we're showing a dad supporting their son, but I'd be interested to see how many instances. I don't hear of many instances. You don't hear these stories, do you? Regularly, you hear more about the ones that were
No.
abandoned by their family or pushed out from their communities. So, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. The other big thing happened this week, which the World Health Organization will stop classifying transgender people as having a mental disorder. That
What?
got announced this week.
That was still around, was it?
The World Health the World Health Organization will stop classifying transgender people as having a mental disorder.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's just changed though.
I think I just want to highlight it, and we can post like the ad on, I think, on our socials and stuff. But it is a beautiful advert.
It is a good advert. But yeah, I think, like you said, a lot of I get really angry sometimes.
All the time.
I'm a really angry person. I get really angry sometimes at people who they sleep comfortably now under the blanket of freedom that camp, gay, butch lesbians, trans people, and drag queens. Like, these are the people that took the abuse and stood strong for years and years and years, fought harder than some other people who weren't as effeminate or and could just, play it straight, so to speak. Trans people who, were out there rioting back in the Stonewall riots, and we have all this security and all this, like I said, a blanket that keeps us warm at night of safety. Not like, this blanket still got holes in it because there's still some way to go, but they seem to just totally disregard that from an LGBT community point of view. It is sad, and I think it's nice that this story has taken front and center. Again, like we talk often before about race issues in the LGBT community, and I think that's what was so nice about Pose. It was majority black. It was drag queens. There was no drag queens, was there? It was all trans.
Mm.
And the Billy Porter was amazing.
Oh God, yes, he's unbelievable.
Post season 2 starts in June.
He's got such a good voice as well.
Yeah, he was the first one in Kinky Boots. He was when it was released. He was the first one in Kinky Boots in the States.
Oh God, he would have been incredible.
Yeah,
I love Kinky Boots.
I never seen it on stage.
Oh my goodness, it's so good. And a friend of mine is in the tour now. A friend of mine from school called Yokai, is in the UK tour.
See the same guy that was in the Book of Mormon when we went to see it?
Yes.
Oh, he was so nice. He got us some really good seats.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get us the seats, but yeah,
Well, he sort of got us the seats.
kind of. But he's starring as Lola as well. Like he's really doing well. And he's beautiful.
Oh, that's amazing.
And he's heterosexual.
Amazing.
So he stars as a drag queen in a musical. And yeah. So I think that's amazing.
That is really
Shout
cool.
out to Yokai.
Yeah.
That's it from me.
That's it from me.
Okay, bye.
Is there any closing thoughts or what did Jerry Springer used to do? Final thoughts?
God, Jerry Springer's so bad.
I used
My
to
mum
love
loved
it. I loved it.
Some of it just got me really bad. Like some of it was just a bit much. Like this woman was trying to break the record for most number of guys she's had like almost had sex with in like a period of time. And it was hundreds. She would just lie there while these hundreds of guys just lined up with masks on to fuck her.
Don't slut shame her.
It's not slut shaming. It was the thought of it. Like it was just.
I used to.
It was the men that got me. It was the men that were lining up. They were lining up just there naked. Imagine like lining up. She's there. It was like hundreds of people over like a 24-hour span.
We had the Jerry Springer Too Hot for TV videotapes. They were wicked.
Yeah, no. But no closing thoughts. Just I hope that you have a lovely week, Ashley, and I hope that our followers here in Dublin come and see how we're going and playing and all that jazz.
Although, yeah, definitely.
We've got another episode before that.
We do, yeah. But if they want to come, now's the time to make plans for it.
Absolutely.
And did you see very famously Guinness painted their black gate today, or it wasn't. The picture wasn't released today. I put it on my Facebook.
Yes.
It's the rainbow flag. Did you see it?
I did. It's lovely.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The Emerald Warriors on it.
Yep, they've never done that in 75 odd years.
Oh, really?
So it's a big. Yeah, it's a big thing. Big thing.
I
For a
didn't
big international brand like that.
Amazing.
Yes. But then Guinness also supported the Gareth Thomas. They did a whole ad around his story. I love Guinness. I want a Guinness right now.
You've been drinking a lot. You need to calm down.
I was so drunk on Saturday night.
God, you drink so much these days.
I know, and like people have said, "Oh, we should go out for drinks." I'm trying not to drink, and then I get plastered and put it on social, and they're like, "I thought you were drinking." I'm like, "It wasn't planned." Like I didn't purposely say I'm not going to drink and then go out and get drunk. We basically did this epic cycle and run, and then a few of us were like, "Let's go for a couple of drinks." You know, we've earned it. A couple turned into like shitloads. I watched football. I watched the Celtic Hearts game.
Such
a lad, and then we just stayed in and just drank, and I was drinking tea at the start, and then they're like, "Oh, stop being a fanny," and I'm like, "Oh, no, I was having tea and
come on."
I didn't want. I was driving, so I didn't want to like, drink. And then I was like, right, okay, I'll just park the car up, and then started. Got on it so heavily. I knew it was sort of thing. It was so unplanned. We just talked shit. It was funny. The giggles were hilarious. Like we were playing back-to-back Beyoncé songs because one of the guys there is obsessed with Beyoncé. Not me. Straight guy obsessed with Beyoncé because she's beautiful, and we were trying to figure out what was the best song. Mine's is Love on Top.
Out of all of our songs,
I think that's my favorite.
That's a good song. I don't know about all of them.
It's hard to pick a favorite.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Crazy in Love in general, but I think that's like reminiscent as well, not just.
Yeah.
It brings up memories as well.
Or Halo is another one that's just phenomenal.
So many. I'm not even going to start. There's too many good songs.
Too many. Anyway, that was it. Hungover. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Make sure you check us out on social, where we are HonestPod on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook. Or you can follow me on social, which is ASHMCA, or Matt is...
All teeth and chips, _ between each word.
All teeth and chips. So make sure you check him out too. Or you're just All Teeth, is it on Twitter?
I am.
Yeah. And yeah, just make sure you subscribe. Click that subscribe button, guys, and make sure you leave us little reviews because they're always helpful.
Please do.
All right, guys. Thanks very much for listening.
Have a lovely week, Ashley.
Until next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.